In Path of Exile, there is a hidden menace lingering around since basically closed beta. And I've been waiting for this patch that's just been announced for 3.25 to see whether it has been addressed or not. And this is accuracy. So in Path of Exile, accuracy is very important as it gives you the hit chance you require to hit enemies. But over time, monsters have gotten much more evasion, and the competition for the suffix slot has increased dramatically. As a result, the best builds and the most competitive builds are doing everything possible to avoid getting accuracy via accuracy. Traditionally, accuracy is found mostly on the right side of the tree, as you can see in the highlights here. And in contrast, on the left side of the tree, it is very scarce. You'll find your accuracy in your class start and one action note here, and sometimes accuracy for your weapon specific clusters. Now, I've gone through the patch notes, and there's been no mention of changes to accuracy on the passive tree, so this is the first issue. The second issue is that items have become so crowded and competitive on the suffix slot that it has made accuracy too difficult to get. Too difficult. So accuracy was released in closed beta, and back then it was not necessary. Okay, I played melee in closed beta, and we did not need accuracy for the hardest content. We would kill Dominus with 0 accuracy on a Marauder using Infernal Blow with base breakers. So this issue has slowly built up over time because back then we did not have any influence suffixes. You didn't have crafted suffixes. There were no special suffixes, and there were less uniques eating up item slots. And the most important one is Chaos Res was not seen as that important back then as it is now. So now we have so many more options that are deemed required for a suffix that accuracy is very, very hard to get efficiently on gear. So this leaves us with very, very little options in terms of accuracy, because if you can't put accuracy on your gear, you can only get it from external sources. So this will be a huge factor in 3.25 for melee because, well, with no accuracy, you do no damage. Simple as that. Now, the first issue that is the first method that's been addressed is obviously undeniable on Juggernaut. If there are no changes to this, then undeniable will be undeniably the absolute best option to solve accuracy, because it basically triple dips with strength for other strength stacking options, as well as the helmet slot for accuracy for strength. So this option here gives me, let's have a look, 15,900 accuracy. Now, this is enough to kill evasive monsters in T17s. But I would say, these days, if you don't have 2,500 accuracy, you're trolling. And to get 2,500, it's not easy. Okay, it's not easy. Not to mention... Okay, I've set up an example here, and this example is a simulation of a sword splitting steel that is utilizing 2 equipment slots or 2 suffixes for accuracy. So a glove 600 perfect roll and a ring catalyst to around 600, so plus 1.2. I've also included precision is as a source of accuracy, and the tree has the sword notable here for some more accuracy. And this is a slot over here for accuracy with test later. So in T17 maps, rare monsters are level 86, and their base evasion is 8,300, basically 8.4. Okay, now this gives me a bare minimum barely usable 94% chance to hit, which I think is okay. But this is a white mob, and in PoE there are no white mobs. Very, very commonly, you will see modifiers such as less accuracy for players and less accuracy for players T17 version, which should be this one over. Oh, there's two versions, as far as I'm aware. So we can check firstly with we'll just take this on. Immediately, our hit chance dropped to 87, and that's not good anymore. Okay, that is not good. However, it gets worse because when you have a fully complete atlas, you have about 1.3 times more map modifier. So we'll say 30% less accuracy, because that's the typical example. So now we're at 86% hit chance. Okay, so not too bad, right? No, actually, there's a very, very, very common Arc Nemesis modifier called Evasive. Now, you will see Evasive very, very commonly because it's one of the most common roles for an Arc Nemesis monster. It gives 100% increased evasion rating. In addition, there is a very common Arc Nemesis mod that it is blind, and basically you have even less accuracy. So you get blinded and you get blinded on hits with a bonus effect. And again, this also gets scary. Now, for the sake of this, we'll ignore it because there are sources of blind immunity. However, those are very specific, and you can usually solve it via the Pantheon. Now, let's not even talk about the map modifier effect. Let's get it as a raw stat. 16,600 evasion. Now, the hit chance is at 63%. 63%. And I personally would test builds at around 30,000 evasion, because previously with Back to Basics, you could really amplify things up. So we can just say 20,000 evasion with map effects and monster effects, etc. So 20,000 evasion is a commonly seen evasion number for monsters. So what's the issue here? Now we've dedicated 2 entire passive nodes, suffixes to accuracy, and it is not even close enough. 62% accuracy hit rate is terrible. It feels bad, it looks bad, like you just constantly miss on monsters, and it's terrible. Let's say on the left side, I took Eagle Eye and I took the accuracy rating. We'll just take this one doesn't work in PvP, but we can take this. Close range, config close range, yes. We come back up to 87%. Okay, now this is still pretty goddamn bad because our total accuracy is around 4,000, and I would consider this heavy investment because this is a full notable, 4 passives that I need to invest in, and I don't want to do that. Now let's say I went all the way and took these nodes here. Now we have more accuracy. We're now about 5k. But here's the issue. We have now dedicated so much investment into accuracy on a sword as well, because swords have, typically good accuracy. With say Corsair sword, etc. Pretty sure to give base accuracy on the weapons and have an accuracy mastery here. Now this is going to be a typical example of heavy investment accuracy, and this does not even compare to a example build such as my current build right here. Here is my current build in 3.24 Necropolis. Now many things will be changed and many things are not fully certain. However, we can see that I currently have 18,700 accuracy. And we go to configs. We can set the enemy mob level accuracy to, let's say, 30,000. And my hit chance is still 100%. So we can make it all the way to even 40,000 before we get any real, detrimental effects to hit rates. Now, this makes Juggernaut pretty much the absolute best in slots for melee builds moving forward. And the investment is not really investment, because as a Juggernaut, you use accuracy to scale damage, attack speed, and accuracy, and precise technique. Okay, so you're getting triple dipping with accuracy this way, and this solves too many solving issues with this right here. In addition, many other builds follow the same suits. Other builds that are popular in 3.24 that require accuracy is Rutu Lasting Steel DD. Now, this build bypasses accuracy entirely by using the Vacant Crafted hits can't be evaded. However, it is a prefix on a weapon that is extremely contested, and it's honestly quite difficult to get because you're sacrificing a huge portion of damage for this one Vacant Craft. Secondly, the other builds that require accuracy would be Connor's Manifold Arrows, and they get their accuracy by stacking Dexterity and using Shepherd's Touch to gain a massive base accuracy for free. And the last option that is most commonly seen is Resolute Technique.
You serious?
Now, Resolute Technique is, well, it's one way to stop accuracy, but it is honestly only feasible for builds that cannot benefit from critical strikes. These builds do not include Precise Technique because you have accuracy, and they do not benefit builds such as, and they only benefit builds such as Bleeding and Ailments, because those builds don't typically benefit of critical chance. So what can be done? Currently, it stands to reason that the best way to get accuracy is by doing anything you can to not take accuracy as a raw stat. Now, let's think about accuracy in PoE. If there is a statue that has no movement, it stands still, but it has 1,000 evasion, and you have 1 accuracy, when you attack that statue, you will miss. That doesn't really make too much sense. So, the proposal that I would suggest is to separate melee and range accuracy entirely. It makes sense fundamentally that when you fire a projectile, it can miss because you missed it. But when you swing the sword at a stationary target, it doesn't make sense for you to miss. This is why I would suggest melee accuracy, or maybe accuracy in general, to be balanced instead of around 0 hit rate, but around 100 hit rates. Currently, we start off with 0 accuracy, and 0 accuracy means 0 hit rate. Pretty much, right? Pretty much. With the calculations that go on. Instead, I would suggest that the calculations all be reworked, and we all have a default 100 hit rate. So now we are balancing hit rate around 100 instead of 0. This way, when I get accuracy at 100 in a new system, this accuracy will give me some sort of extra bonus damage, and when the enemy has no bonus evasion. But when the enemy has bonus evasion, which lowers my hit rate, my accuracy then no longer gives me bonus damage. It now gives me bonus hit rates to make up for the bonus evasion on the monster. Sort of like a, while I have full rage, I do more damage, but monsters start taking away rage, but now can keep them. Or some shit like that. You get what I mean, right? We now have the pivot at 100 rather than at 0. Is what I would kind of suggest. That being said, as you can probably tell, I've been a little sick, but I will be returning for 3.25. I have some plans for Ultimatum, and I have noticed that there is a new change Ultimatum where monsters now drop loot, which is very, very good. I've noticed the DD has been gutted, and there are a few other videos that I would like to put out before the league starts. So I hope you stick around for that. Thank you very much.